Yo, welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. How are we doing? Today is a very special day. It is my birthday, so we are doing a special stream today. Is the audio good? Got a new microphone that I set up earlier. Here, let me check. Oh, here, this. Is that better? I don't know. Um, all right. I don't know if that fixed it, but hopefully that should work. If you guys can't hear me all right, let me know. I got a new microphone, as I said. But today, the first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna watch the video on the completion for the community center, just because I gotta be checking out some other games, and the whole reason why I was finishing the community center was to see what would happen once I finish it. So see watching a cutscene so I can skip forward to some more stuff. If you want some more reasoning as to why I'm not finishing it, feel free to check out last stream. I go into more detail there. But after that, we'll be playing a game called The Beginner's Guide. I'll be showing the trailer for that so you guys can kind of get an idea of what we're heading into. Let me go ahead and bring you guys on over. Alrighty, so this is the Community Center Complete Let's Be Reasonable cutscene as the title of it. So let's go ahead and watch this real quick. This is by Hold to Reset, so credits to him for this video. Alrighty, let's go. Right off the bat, it looks really nice. Got all the stars complete, I'm noticing. They just finish everything up and people are just moving back in. What is that? Yeah, that's really nice. Okay. Let's see what else kind of happens. This would be me walking up instead of just. Not sure how you did it, Elvin. Community Center has never looked better. On Pelican's having a great tourist. Everyone in town is pleased. The way of saying thank you, I present you this town's greatest honor, the Starting Hero Award. You get a trophy. Okay. Cool. What else? Oh, there's a hidden voice. I'm coming. Where are all my customers on? Oh, is this guy that owns Jojo Mart? I think I remember hearing something about that from you, Draco. Oh, thank you for happy birthday, Draco. Hope you're doing well. All my customers here. This isn't good. How did it feel? Let's be reasonable, or let's settle this the old-fashioned way. Let's be. It's of no consequence. I'll just 75% off sale, and all my customers will come crawling back. Not this time. I remember when I first moved to Pelican Town, this building was active and vibrant. We worked together to make the town a better place. There was a real sense of community. George, he always used to do the crossword puzzle. Remember? Emily, you wove that custom banner for the Stardew Valley Fair. I remember you working on that for years. I have all these like little connections. It was a lot of fun. Willie, remember when your little crab experiment got out of hand? And I knew. He showed up one morning. Police was crawling with him. Gus saved the day with a brilliant idea. Crab leg feast for the entire valley. Still dream of garlic butter. Oh, Mario. Hey everyone, our community is what makes Pelican Town special. Doja Mart came to town, we lost sight of that. But now, thanks to Elgin, we have a second chance. Rest of you join me in boycotting Doja Mart. We have the power to reclaim our old way of life. With This is really cool. I like this. I've lived here too long to see this town go to ruin. Count me in. Hope the old man is in. Everybody's in. It's really cool. I like it. I'm done for. Then he just storms off. Yeah. Alrighty. Is that it? Morris and his Doja Mart cronies were never to be heard from again. Wow. Alrighty. Yeah, that is really cool. I really like that. It's an ending I do kind of wish I had gotten, so I could have seen that for myself. But yeah. Overall, I am a big fan of that. Oh, and anybody that has a Wii U, these are today's the last day you can use any online services with it. So just be aware of that. But today we are playing the Beginner's Guide, from the same creator as the Stanley Parable, and it's only going to be an hour and a half, is what it says here. But let's just go ahead, fire up the trailer, and I'll let you guys make your own decisions about what it is.
Let's say you sit down at a stranger's computer. You start opening up files and looking through stuff, and eventually you come to a folder that just says My Work. So you open it, and you click on a random file, and it's a video game that looks like this. If you had to guess, what would you say you know about this person right now? Like, maybe they're kinda goofy. Okay, you close that, you scroll down a bit, and you open up a new file. It's another game. Do you think this person is happy? Are they unhappy? Now another one. What do you think is comfortable for this person? What puts them at ease? Do you think they're lonely? What's missing in their life? Keep going, open another file. Let's look at all of them. Let's unpack this person. Are they upset about something or fighting something? What do you think makes this person angry? What kinds of friends do they have? Do they even enjoy making video games at all? Take all of these images, hold them in your mind, and now try to imagine, without ever having met this person, who they are. Okay, let's do it. Let's find out if you're right.
Yeah, this is the Beginner's Guide. I don't think there's anything more to the trailer. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that is the Beginner's Guide. If anybody's really the Stanley Parable, same creator. But yeah, let's go ahead, fire it on up. Cool. Sorry for having. Oh, oh. Game info. Okay, no. I'll be honest. I did have this game booted up. I was just like booted up real quick. Game info text is missing. Wait, what? Is that it? Oh, I think I got it. Cool. All right, we got it. I don't know what that was, but it's working now. I might need to. I think for this game is full screen. You guys see? Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm going to change things up real quick. Go into here. All right. Close out of this. Alrighty. So, beginner's guide. We have in the game checker select options. Reverse mouse. That's kind of cringe. Raw mouse acceleration. Let's just fire it up. Stare at the sun today. I did stare at the sun today for a little bit, but I wasn't there for when it actually happened. I was in class, unfortunately. Alright, I'm really excited to play this. Let's get right into it. Make sure audio is on. Alright, I got my headphones. Controls, WASD, and click.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So, just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Okay, I can pause. Alrighty, so a lot of information to take in right off the bat. So that was just introduction. If you flip your camera, it'll look a little better since I'll look at the off screen. That is true. Yeah, I had it positioned over there. Let me try to fix that. Camera, rotate. No, not no upside down. No. Uh, this is what I'm looking at right now. I have a zoom setting, a pan setting, a rotate, and a crop. If I go to move it around, what if I just like move it over here? That might be better. Okay, let's try this. So for right now, we'll just leave it like this. Okay, alright. Upside down stream, bug. Gamer lore, yeah. Alrighty. So does that look better? You guys happy with this? Cool. Alrighty. And by the way, this guy said his name was Coda. If you look right down here, this little symbol right here, you guys see it? Not here. Let me pull it up real quick. All right, yeah, right here. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I don't know. Let's do this. There we go. Yeah. So DS al coda is a musical term. I don't know what this one on the left is, but this one on the right is the symbol name. The name of the symbol is called a coda. When you take a coda in music, it means you go to like the end of a second ending of a song per se. So that is what the symbol is right down here. I just now noticed it. So yeah, can't mirror it. Maybe I can. I don't know. But this is not something I really want to worry about right now. My name card is a lightsaber. Yeah, I kind of like designing it that way. But go ahead and move that into the trash can. And if I need to move my camera, I will. But for right now, let's just get straight back into it. All right. So again, November 2008, and it's called Whisper. All right. So my settings, my mouse sensitivity is kind of high. All right. Whoa.
Warning. Whisper machine active. Shift destruction imminent.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
So we go that way. This way. We go this way. Okay. This way too. You do notice like a fire. The fire in my ears does get louder, get closer. Pretty cool. Okay. Let's have a gun. Whisper machine. What's the whisper machine? Okay, I go right here.
Security call breached. Hostile alien life forms inbound.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Okay.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin shift
It's like
evacuation.
a fatal lightsaber there in the air. Listen, man, it was my first time going. And to be honest, I can show you guys the Photoshop app I use for remix.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Looks like you just mirrored a PNG of a galaxy, I guess. So this is gonna be kind of weird. We have the game creator talking as well as myself. So just so you guys know, anytime the game creator talks, I'm going to stop talking because this is not his game. It's his compilation of Coda's games. Rather, I want to hear what he has to say. Okay. And it reminds me of Valorant. We gotta like sweep the walls. Yes.
Apparently this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Okay. Let me go back.
Or
Go back
if
in.
you'd really like to solve the labyrinth, you're welcome to do that too.
So there's different sound cues if I go back in. Alright.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Alright.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
So, from the mind of the creator, and by the way, guys, if I'm too quiet, let me know. I can boost the volume a little bit. But from the mind of the creator, it's the thinking of sacrifice.
This is not a branching point, unfortunately. The only option is to step into the beam. Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Boost volume. Okay, let me do that real quick. Nope, not that. Right here. Boost the volume a little bit. Let's try like right here, boosting it 4 decibels. It looks a bit better. We'll go a little more. Right there. Actually, it might be good. I'm looking at my bars in here. Let's try that. If it still needs to be changed, let me know. I'll change it some more. Okay. So he said it didn't work as intended. So let me go back in.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it, like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
I get much higher, so high. Oh, not move. Oh,
Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards.
huh. I can only move backwards. I cannot move forward, left, or right. Only backwards. Huh. The past was behind her. This is weird. I think this could be a good concept for a game. Like I could see this popping off in some way. I just don't know how.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Code is trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
Why does the future keep changing? When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. But if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength to confront it?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
PNG of rocks. Alright, I can only... Alright, I got a narrow area I can move, and forward and backward. A very limited range. We're now entering...
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
December.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
9/11?
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
3 towers. I'm floating down, I feel like.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Guys, I'm gonna use the bathroom soon. Sorry. Walk around... Whoa, 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 whoa.
A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
Game where you collect items, except the game automatically...
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Start in a small room until you realize you can just walk through the walls. Ready, set, fish. I'm not getting a fishing vibe from this quite
Well,
yet.
this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Okay, go this way. Yeah. Oh, maybe I can't. Hold up, what's happening? I'm a little confused. Okay, so I switched the lever. Oh,
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon.
oh,
We're
okay,
gonna see it a lot.
okay. So you go in a door and shut it behind you. So open the next one. 3 dots.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve the puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Alright. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Can I go to any of these spots?
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
Very thought-provoking. I'm not that insightful. You are now exiting. Where should I go back this way? Oh, it just ends. Okay. So first we were entering, now we're exiting.
Aha. So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
Okay. A great and lovely descent.
Let's
So-
talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Streetwise fool.
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Oops.
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Wait, what was I supposed to do here? Okay, go inside. So if you guys can't, I don't know if you guys can tell, there's like a glass pane blocking the way almost. Beds. We're locked in. Okay.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Alrighty. Go back down.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
Okay. So I don't think I can go this way. I need to get Tom's or something. Oh, very good. Now we're free. At least 3 dots are back. Dots have returned.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
Huh.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
What are your guys' thoughts? I'm curious. Right now, I'm just thinking that I don't know, man. I don't know. Speak. You there? Did you come up
Here,
from...
Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
So the person says, "You there? Did you come from up above? What was up there?" I said, "Yes, there was a world stamped with whiteness. There was an enormous prison I spent hours in. There were these floating colored blocks." I said there was a prison. That's the world above. You've been there. That was important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did. That was literally the last thing I did before coming here. Remember if you're going through any puzzle? I prefer not to tell you. After all, you've only just met. So yes, I did. Perfect. Now please, tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. I don't remember how I solved it. I'm trying to remember, but I can't. I didn't solve it. Someone else let me in. Or trust me, you don't want to go over there. I'll go with 1 again. I'm just saying harder. Please, try harder to remember. It's so important that we get out of here. You must escape this prison. Can you think harder? There must be something more. Please tell us how to reach the end. Okay. And again, how is audio sounding? Let me know if anything needs to be changed. These switches. Okay. Alright. How did you get here? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? Yes, you want to know how to solve it, or no, I've been right here this entire time? I'll say no, I've been here this entire time. Just you go and see the puzzle sometime. It's not meant to be solved. You can sit in the black sphere in the middle. How would I solve it? Why would I sit in the black space, or who are you? I'm gonna rock with who are you? Let's go hang out in that blackness for a bit. You may not like it at first, but it'll grow on you eventually. Okay.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Okay.
It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Okay. So are you moving on to chapter 2 then? April 2009. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. Okay. Nice room. Not.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person.
Whoa.
In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them.
Okay.
Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played. But it's ironic, isn't it, that in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Okay. I like reading these notes. It gives me like, especially this one. This one's fun. I just saw a flying penguin. Let me tell you, it's the most majestic thing I've ever seen. I don't feel like living because nothing will ever be as majestic as that. I don't ever want to see again if nothing will ever be as beautiful again. I am crying now and planning on ripping my eyes out. I must go now to do that. Alright. I don't like the swearing ones, just so you guys know. I can assure you, guarantee that there's an acorn somewhere here in this place, and the sailors are. I refuse to believe. Go to the bathroom. I need to go to the bathroom. Recognize me, please. There's nothing here. Don't listen to that guy. A free t-shirt. Need other side. Door how open. Open. Makes game. Includes door. Cannot open door. Thanks. Ugh. Someday I'll meet the person who made this. Tell people because of the internal good feeling I get. There's so many. Guys, I'm not going to be able to read all of these. There's way too many. There's so much. There's so many. Like, I like these notes, but there's just so many of them. I can't get through them all. Painting, what does it mean? This can't go on forever. It'll have to end at some point. It's just a matter of when that is.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on. And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together, to grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
I'm confused, guys. I'm confused. Oh.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
The city. Guys, just so you know, I'd never reviewed this game before playing it. I just saw a lot of good reviews for it, but I didn't look at a playthrough of it or anything. I didn't know this stuff was going to be in there, so I apologize for any of the stuff you'll see. Say this goes on for a while.
See, this is it, the whole game, and there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Huh? What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? Oh, was I supposed to remember it? TV? What about along the wall of the room? What, 10 stoves lined up along the wall? Oh, okay. Light up this room a bit. We'll put Tesla coils in each corner. Yeah, do that. Hey, we need a table. Pretty sure none of my choices are making any difference.
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake. So okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Okay. Hello, please walk forward. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully. Take care that you remember each step. First, click on this table, over the photo frame, and click to turn it slightly. Now turn the floor lamp off and back on. Go to the left side sofa, move over a little. Touch the shelves. In real prison, the escape will now open. Remember the start be taken back to prison. Okay. Right.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape.
Huh.
Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this, to see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop, that particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
All right. I gotta say, overall, I'm really liking this. I'm just looking forward to seeing where it goes. Oh, and the lamppost is back. Can't move. Hey, it's me. I'm you. From after you escaped the prison. You're me? You were trapped in this prison too? The furniture maze, escape tunnel, reverse prison.
It's a conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
So you're tell me how you feel right now, or just talk with me for a bit. Will make sense. Will you be here? We'll be here for as long as you need.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice? So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself? To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the 2 doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
I wanna go up there. I wanna go up here.
Just so you're aware, nothing will happen up here until you've been inside the house.
I like those little cues. It helps you guide you along. Like that he puts those in. Glad as all heck that you showed up. Thought I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself. And what miserable that would have been. Everyone knows lonesome hands make lousy homes. Okay, so he moves the text over.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Run into the bedroom and make the bed. Okay. This is part of the trailer. Straighten up the rug a bit. Yeah. Okay. How'd you end up doing this job? And drag me along at a time when I was practicing desperate cash. Never felt so good doing something for money my whole life. Demons ain't great if you see it. Someone's put this couch in all of this. Come out the street with these pillows here. Ah, course, man. I'll clean the house for you. So the drink over by the couch, yeah. There we go. Mop that up. Yeah. Cheesy personal thought. We get especially cheesy. Especially cheesy. No. No, it's sorry, never mind. Oh, no, you can talk to me. No, you can talk to me, man. Well, I don't see you doing anything, man. How about you pitch in and do a little bit? Maybe I'm being harsh. These books are scattered in the bedroom. Clear these dishes off.
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful. I know that Coda really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time, just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
It occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it, and it takes care of you. There's a bit of truth in it, no? Anyway, so housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Clean up the books. Those missing job.
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
Question.
But,
You enjoy
of course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
Okay. Light post.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
Alright. Guys, I gotta use the bathroom really bad, so holy cow, we're on chapter 11. Okay. Guys, I gotta use the bathroom, so give me like 5, 10 minutes, I don't know. But yeah, just give me a little bit. I'll be right back. Thank you. I actually decided to leave you guys right here so you can see where I'm back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, guys, I got a really bad stomach ache. I'll finish the game, but yeah, I just don't feel very well right now. Um, I'm sorry. Wish I was feeling better. Back on over. Alright, Chapter 11, Lecture, September 2009.
This one gets a bit goofy.
Like in a classroom. Okay. No. You came here to become perfect. The workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. Wow, this person is a better human being than I am. What do you think about that way in your own life? Who you know is so well developed as a person that you feel disgusted with yourself. Compared to who you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful. I intend to make you do that. Perfection is within your grasp. The question is not how do we do it, how do we do it effortlessly? It's easy. It is so easy. It is so easy.
About halfway through the game, the perspective shifts.
This is the key. How do I achieve it with no effort?
And you play as the teacher.
Okay.
Suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
Oh. Alright, this is the key. How do I achieve it with no effort? On the way to work, I told an elderly person to start contributing to society, where kids should not follow their dreams. Kids should not follow their dreams. Why is it gray? I think I chose the wrong answer. Well, let me tell you right now, it isn't effortless. It is not the right answer. I still love you. It's just that you make me feel cold on the inside. Being alone must be awful. Holy crap. Because it tells me what the right answer is. Thank goodness all you perceive as you want. Drinking is not hurting my life. For torturing yourself, trying to find the right solutions for your life, you're not doing it right. Seek out only one thing. What is the easiest, simplest path forward? Haha, just kidding. Anyone want to do some ecstasy? There is no truth. There is no path. What if I'm not? Do what is easiest. Do what is simplest. Nothing. No one. How about everyone run?
I felt pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days. This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
That's where the bumpers are going to be. Oh. Performance is beginning. Places, please. There's no audience. The good thing is me. We are at a gathering of professionals. First, you'll start out leaning against this wall. Good, stay right there. Moving across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals personally. One chance it alerts up for her to gain something. See, go on, say something to her. Alright. Hello. Nice, happy, focused. You need to actually converse with her. Be a human being. do it again. Should I still be leaning against the wall? I'm super scared right now. I like you, or here are all of my hopes and dreams. How about that? That's not what I said to her at all. You missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feel of the setting. There were a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent perspective, okay? I talked to her again. It's worked really hard to get here. I bet you've learned to lean into the pain. What are some sacrifices you had to make? But one. You're risking it all. I'm trying to figure out the conversation gets that personal that quick. I didn't realize how important this was for me. I'll never get another opportunity like this again. Everything was riding on this. I want to try something back from the stage. Okay. There's a light post. She's gone. Oh. Huh. I guess I'll just go this way.
The game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looks to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
This game probably must keep your eyes closed. Quick to begin the game, okay? I'm looking. Keep your eyes closed. I'm looking. Sorry. Help, I'm blind. Can't see anything or what's going on. Please tell me how to solve this. What? What's going on?
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Please don't put this be forever. Captain. Alright. Okay. We gotta lock in, chat. What's the SS Whisper? Let's try. I can't see anything. Please, someone talk to me. Is it a chat? Be quiet, help me find the shields. What? Where's the light post? Going on. Guys, what haven't I tried yet? Oh, there's an exit right here. Truth. The only way to stop it is to speak something that is honest. Can't keep making these. It's draining me.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
Hello? Tree. Is anyone there? Is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. Ron, you look lost. I am lost. Okay. I have nothing left to give to my work. Oh no! What happened? Did it change? I'm trying to find this engine they used for text to start it again. There's a machine that kept me going, and it stopped. You're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It is a car. I need to see it to know why it stopped. Take you, but there's a problem.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for? Because from my perspective at the time, and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on. You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
You from his...
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering. This is someone I really cared about, and I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me. I don't know. This is what I felt at the time.
I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so lost. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop. But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
May 2011. This was like one of his last year. Alright, so it's a guard. Glad to see you arrive safely. Capture the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can make interrogation whenever you like. Trying to be quick, quiet, or brutal. Quick. Very good. You warned that someone called the press, so you may have a bit of attention. It calls itself Coda. Press. You ask him questions. Coda.
And of course, it's the machine.
This is dark. Holy crap, this is dark. I've seen the thing. Right then, I will speak to them for you. My followers or my friends? Go with my friends. I have a troubling revelation. The machine refuses to admit that deliberately hurt us, or the machine will not apologize to us. I'll go with that. It's not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. We'll find a way without it. We do not need its game. Let us show it that we are not failures. Follow me will destroy the machine, everything that is broken. Oh. Oh, jeez. Here they are, just destroying everything. Hold up, I'll make sure you work guys here. I'll make sure you are known forever. So you're scared of how you live without your precious creations, having to deal with yourself.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work? So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
On your weapon. I'm gonna destroy it.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem.
Mm-hmm.
When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy. So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
Yeah. His last game.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
This room actually has a maze in it. Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Okay. I feel like I walk a lot slower.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Everyone, 6 months. What a date? 15, 16, or just 15, 16, 17. Huh. I like the strings in the background just holding out one note. That was really cool. Really dark.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first two challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that. Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
Huh.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed.
My question is, what happened to him?
Where did I screw up?
I have an idea of what it is. I'm afraid to say it.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
Ask you not to speak to me.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable. And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
You so infected my personal space, but it's possible I did begin to place solutions in my work somewhere, hidden between games. There's an answer a meeting would make my happier. Stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes. Giving them something that is not yours to give, violating the one boundary that keeps me safe. Stop changing my games. Stop adding lampposts to them.
And then you stopped, and I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. less than nothing. What does that mean?
The fact that you think I'm broken or frustrated or broken says more about you than about me. I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet. It's fine, you're not my problem. So if it one day it clicks and that you make peace with this thing you are wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
And you find it's good. Don't say.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Hmm. Wow, that's really deep. What now?
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease. Solution. I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons. Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
I don't know what to say, guys.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like. What now? I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna... Okay.
That's it. Is there anything else? Left. Wow. That's a lot to take in. Alright, give me 1 second. Yeah. Seeking external validation. This is the core of all this. And to be honest, you really can't find, if you keep seeking external validation in life, you're not gonna get what you're looking for. Because even if you have all the validation you could ever want, there will still be something inside of you that is missing. And, you know, call me out on it if you want to, but it's Jesus. You know, I'm a Christian, and I'm just telling you, what he is looking for is Jesus. He's looking for Christ to come into his life and fulfill him. Is this back at the beginning? This is heavy stuff. Like, I don't know where to go from here. Like, Draco, what do I even talk about? I don't talk about my feelings very much, man. My immersion, yeah. Draco, what are your thoughts? Watching me play through this, seeing everything that went down, what are your thoughts? And what I'm wondering is, is this still Coda's game? Is this Coda's game, or is this the Stanley Parent, or is this Davy's game? Just back at the beginning. That's it. Oh. It's an endless maze. And I can't move. Very heavy and sad stuff. Yeah. Dude, I feel like he'll be wrong to not go over, like, what I'm feeling right now, but at the same time, it's just like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I'm feeling. I don't know how to put it into words. It's just like, he wanted to help his friend out. He thought his friend was struggling. Oh, is there something?
Turn back,
Or
turn back from this cave. You said, let me
progress would not have
prove
been
that
possible without
I'm
following individuals.
brave. Let me keep going.
Sorry.
But the cave goes for
It's like
miles
Stanley
and
took Coda's games
miles
and tried to
and
make them into his own games,
miles.
causing Coda to resent Stanley.
And you're so
Really?
tired.
I don't. That's not what I
But
got. Maybe I
I
wasn't paying
know that you're
attention well enough, but to
strong.
me, it was just like he wanted Coda to
So
make better
turn
games
back,
overall. It's like he liked what Coda was doing,
turn
but he wanted to make them better, I guess. Which I guess, in a sense, is like turning them into your own games. Hmm. Hmm. Alrighty. Well, there you have it. That's the beginner's guide by, how could I forget his name? Davy Redden. Beginner's guide by Davy Redden.
Let's say you sit down at a stranger's computer.
Um, tells the story of a person struggling to deal with something they do not understand. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely glad I played this game, and I think it's something people should definitely check out if they haven't, or just watch it on stream or something. But if I scroll down to the reviews, people say stuff like, um, I'd really convey my thoughts on this game. Early game, but I felt guilty playing it. Like I was reading someone's diary. I wondered if it was a fictional story or actually true. Nothing else. I think there's a moral to the story, but I guess I'll let you decide so that I don't spoil it. Um, if people have played too many games, other than that, it's extraordinarily difficult to explain who would enjoy this game. This. How this game changed my life. Holy crap, that is long. It was worded badly, but it felt like Stanley wanted Coda to make games tailored to his enjoyment, which was causing Coda to submit himself and also put off Stanley. Yeah. I just so you know, his name is Davy Redden. Uh his name is Davy Redden. He made the Stanley Parable. His name is not Stanley, but yeah. Ah, jeez. I want to make the games tailored to his enjoyment. Hmm. And Coda just wanted to make what he wanted to make. Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, on that note, I think we'll leave it here. Um, talk to your friends, check up on them, see how they're doing, and I'm not in like it. Normally, I'm like a lighthearted, joking mood. But I don't feel like I can joke about this right now. It's just like not the sort of joking kind of time. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna head off to bed. I got an early morning tomorrow, and I got 2.5 hours left to celebrate being 19. So, until then, we'll be playing Outer Wilds next stream. I don't know when that is, but I gotta put my nose to the grindstone for some assignments. So I just did a special stream for this game for my birthday, that sort of thing. So I don't know when next stream will be, but you can always be looking forward to it. You never know when it'll be. It's like a surprise. It's like a birthday surprise. You never know what you're gonna get. You never know what it's gonna be. But when it's there, it's there. Alrighty. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to bed and cry for a little bit. Um, alrighty. As always, guys, take care, and I will see you later.